What's going on, guys? Twig and Timber Outdoors, and today I want to talk about my favorite knots for different applications when you're fishing, fly fishing, what have you. Alright, so we're going to start all the way back from setting up our rod. So when we're setting up a rod, whether it be a bait caster, whether it be a spinning rod, whether it be a fly reel, okay, my personal favorite knot, okay, after I've added some form of resistance, whether it be medical tape or some abrasion, is that's to the reel, I like an arbor knot. Now, if you want to know how to tie an arbor knot, I have tons of videos, on my channel. One of those being how to tie an arbor knot. So after I've, set up my reel, I tie my arbor knot. I want to make sure that it's set to where if the pulling against the back side of it is harder to turn on the reel. So if you're all the way back to your knot of your backing on your fly reel, or you're all the way to the knot of your reel on your spinning or casting outfit, then that is a crazy fish, or your drag's not set right. So make sure that and this is one of those knots that it's a very, very strong knot. So another knot later, before that in your chain is probably going to give, or the tippet or line itself is going to give first. I like the arbor knot for connecting reel to line. Now, when we're talking about streamer fishing, or sometimes moving crankbait or walking baits for conventional tackle, I like a non-slip mono loop knot. Now, it's a fairly easy and very quick knot. It's a very strong knot, however. You just have to be very careful that you wet and cinch it all the way down. Now, this is the case with most knots, but especially with this knot, you want to make sure that you cinch it tight together so that it's touching the entire knot a small bit, because that's an easy knot that pulls out, whenever you allow a little bit of slack in the knot if you just pull one way. And this knot also allows a lot of really good action for whether it be streamers that you're stripping in, or whether you're trying to walk a top water. It allows that bait or that fly to do its thing. Now, when we're connecting two different lines, for example, if you're trying to connect fluorocarbon to monofilament, or a tippet of one size to a leader, or tippet of another, or sometimes some guys like to use this for connecting fly line to your leader, a blood knot is my preferred method, but I also utilize a double surgeon's knot. A blood knot's very strong. It does a good job connecting two somewhat, but not exactly, equal sized lines or materials, and I find this very effective and very quick if you know what you're doing, just like a double surgeon's knot. So, but again, you have to make sure that these knots are cinched all the way down and wet before you actually cinch them down. A nice quick but not snappy motion. We can't forget a perfection loop when we're connecting two different lines. If you want to quick switch lines out, a perfection loop is one of the best ways, because you can feed it through, feed it over, and set it down, and you can change it out quickly. That's one of the easiest knots, and also an extremely strong knot. Again, all these knots I'm talking about, I have videos on my YouTube channel to check out and to help you perfect your knots. Now, make sure that with this knot, it's very easy to get hasty with this, but make sure you're pulling the right loop through on your perfection loop. And make sure that the size of the loop is appropriate to your application as well. A Palomar knot is one of the best knots for connecting fluorocarbon to conventional baits, or sometimes even to big flies. It's much better for fluorocarbon than, say, a clinch knot or improved clinch knot would be. So we want to make sure that we're taking practice in making sure that it's fed through and appropriately sized when you're pulling it through, or if you're just going to feed it back through again, that you're taking care to make sure that the loops are going the right way. This is a very good knot for that application. And lastly, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but there's been quite a few, research studies and a few independent studies done on the difference between an improved clinch and a clinch knot. If you're using monofilament line, typically what I will suggest is just go with a straight clinch knot. More confidence in your knots, as well as there's actually been quite a few very reputable individuals and companies that suggest clinch knots because they're stronger than an improved clinch, and more often than not, they're more consistent. Now, we're talking about a 4-turn clinch knot. What Grandpa taught you back in the day, what Dad taught you back in the day to hook up your monofilament line to your hook. Now, this goes across the spectrum, flies or conventional lures. But the clinch knot's one of those ones that you really want to make sure you have solid clinch knots. Those are the ones that I screw up the most because I'm in haste. I know it's an easy knot, and instead of going through the correct way, I end up going through 5 or 3, turns, and then I don't cinch it. Now, this is a very crucial knot to where when you wet your knot and cinch it down, you push, you pull the knot through, but you want to make sure that it's cinched all the way, and pressed to the hook. Because if you don't do that, that tag end has a very strong chance of slipping through. But if you do it the right way. It's one of the strongest knots in fishing, and it's a great knot that, for allowing the direct connection to your lure, to your bait for that ultra sensitivity or that quick hook set when needed. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the rest of the videos in the playlist. And also, tons of discounts down there, guys. I mean, like, I work with some great companies, including WETFLY here, Lucky Tackle Box, Headwaters Bamboo, Cassette, all these awesome dudes, The Fly Crate. So make sure you head down and check out all those coupon codes as well as the different links and stuff, because without them this channel would not be able to do what it does, and without you guys I would not be able to do what I do. So check it out, use the referral stuff, get yourself some awesome savings, and get you on the water to catch some more fish. Until next time, guys, catch you guys on the flip side. Tight lines, and we're out.